recent containment procedure changes. We believe that computer networks at SCP-1875's holding site have been compromised. As a result, all electronic communications with the facility have been severed, pending further notice. Overwatch HQ has declared a moratorium on future exercises until such a time we fully understand how 1875 transmits and receives wireless communication signals. Item SCP-1875. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1875 must never come within transmission range of any wireless data network. The machine's container must be enclosed by a Faraday cage, and it must have a fully mechanical locking mechanism. The holding site's full-time staff must include at least 2 network security experts, 1 armed security guard, and 1 child psychology specialist. When the machine is fully assembled and activated, the speed adjustment lever on SCP-1875-3 may not be set to V, maximum speed, without direct supervision by the site's Level 4 supervisor. Electronic devices with data storage capacity may not be introduced to the facility, and all individuals must be screened for such devices prior to entering the holding site. Research data may only be removed from the container in the form of a paper printout. Any evidence of 1875 IMG 1AB exposure must be reported immediately to Overwatch HQ. Description: SCP-1875 is a Victorian-era chest automaton consisting of 4 principal components, hereby referred to as SCP-1875-1, SCP-1875-2, SCP-1875-3, and SCP-1875-4. SCP-1875-1. A steel chessboard table, 72 by 72 by 64 cm, with a standard 8 by 8 grid of 64 checkered squares painted on its surface. Based on its composition and patina, research staff have identified the exact material as English crucible steel, likely cast between 1820 and 1870. On 1990, Mobile Task Force retrieved SCP-1875 from an abandoned laboratory facility discovered beneath the former residence of University Professor in Shire, England. A drive shaft designed to connect with SCP-1875-3 protrudes from one side of the system's otherwise seamless enclosure. The table contains a sophisticated mechanical and biological system that controls a matrix of 64 electromagnets using an analytical engine composed of the combined brain tissue of the twin daughters, designated SCP-1875-1A and 1B, of Russian chess prodigy. Each square on the chessboard surface sits above a single electromagnet, and each electromagnet can move one chess piece to one of 8 neighbouring squares. Researchers have developed several theories regarding the control mechanism's functional specifications, but the nature of its biological components and possible sentience remain unverified. SCP-1875-2. A complete set of 32 chess pieces carved in the Oriental style from human bone. Each piece is affixed with a thin 0.31 cm base pad of ferromagnetic iron. Samples of the bone used for the pieces have been matched genetically with tissue samples from SCP-1875-1A and SCP-1875-1B. Following the recovery of SCP-1875-1, an anomalous individual associated with Professor Myuu's estate submitted information to the Foundation personnel regarding these chess pieces, leading to their subsequent discovery in the possession of in New York City's Washington Square Park. SCP-1875-3, a stationary steam engine manufactured by Maudslay, Son and Field 1840, also acquired from the estate of Professor and designed to spin SCP-18751's drive shaft. The engine has been modified from factory stock to allow speed adjustments. It has 5 speed settings labelled in Roman numerals. SCP-18754, a suit of 18th century samurai armour in the Gosoku style, arrived in a storage case with SCP-18753 courtesy of Professor estate. Historical evidence suggests that SCP-18754 would have been situated on a chair beside the chess table, serving as a performance prop. Staff have not observed any objectively unusual activities. However, several visiting researchers have reported prolonged feelings of anxiety after making eye contact with the armor's faceplate. Addendum 1. SCP involved 1875. Personnel involved: Intake Analyst. Date: 1990. Location: Site. Description: SCP-1875 appears to be a chess-playing machine from the mid-19th century. Unlike other early mechanical chess devices, SCP-1875 does not appear to be designed to conceal a human operator within its case. SCP-1875 was built for the same purpose as contemporaneous devices, as a travelling curiosity designed to be played by volunteers before a group of spectators, who would be charged an admission fee. Identities of several of the machine's previous owners are known, but reliable information regarding its original designers and fabricators remain elusive. When questioned about the origin of SCP-1875, a representative of the estate of Professor directed us to a Russian newspaper clipping found among the professor's belongings. The article concerns the disappearance of the twin 14-year-old daughters of Russian chess champion in 18. Subsequent historical records indicate that the girls were never found, and that the Russian authorities failed to identify the person responsible. Evidence of the machine's public appearance beginning in 18 under the name The Samurai have been found in Russian, British and American newspaper archives. The last recorded appearance of The Samurai appeared on April 1906 in San Francisco, California. Its owner at the time, sideshow proprietor Mr. perished in the aftermath of the earthquake that struck San Francisco later that month. SCP-1875 was presumed to have been destroyed as well, until its discovery by the Foundation. After assembling the components of SCP-1875 at site, we have begun testing the device for anomalous properties. Addendum 2. Incident 1875-55A. Upon complete assembly, it was confirmed that SCP-1875 chess hardware is fully operational. In this test, a modern chess computer with variable strength software was used to measure SCP-1875's analytical intelligence. We positioned one member of D-Class personnel, D1, in containment with the machine, seated behind the chessboard's black side, and facing 18754, which we positioned behind the white side. 5 chess games were played, one on each of the steam engine speed settings. Instructions were provided through wireless speakers from behind plexiglass shielding to move each piece. D1 remained unharmed and returned to site for next assignment. Here's a list of chess strength at each setting, as estimated on ELO rating system. We are confident about the numbers measured on settings 1 through 4. 1. 800 to 1000 ELO. 2. 1000 to 1200. 3. 1200 to 1500. 4. 2500 to 5. 0 to. Test on setting 5 remained the outlier, so we performed additional tests with chess proficient researchers. Initially, SCP-1875 exceeded ELO, a % increase from the maximum rating measured in our Settings 4 tests. After the game, SCP-1875 chess play was marked by illogical moves. During game, illegal moves were observed, forcing us to abandon games in progress. This activity was seen more frequently as testing progressed. After game, erratic piece movement was observed. The speed at which SCP-1875 moved its pieces increased, and it began to violently ram pieces together on the board. Several chess pieces were chipped, and we decided to cease testing until we can determine a way to proceed without causing more damage. Staff currently suspect that Setting 5 may be malfunctioning due to excess age and wear. 5 minutes later, the following was sent to all members of SCP-1875 email distribution list. 1875 IMG 1AB is an image file that appeared in the body of the suspicious email. It has been removed from this report due to unknown memetic properties, which caused an adverse reaction while checking email on July 11, 1999, before others could be notified. The image appears to be a black and white photograph of two young girls, though first-hand accounts describe it as distorted or stretched in a visually disturbing manner. WAX-MAT-B1 is an executable file written to control subtle background movements in 1875 IMG 1AB. The reaction to 1875 IMG 1AB exposure was characterized by symptoms: T0 exposure, mild anxiety, T plus 15 minutes, headache, elevated body temperature, T plus 2 hours, restlessness, insomnia, auditory hallucination reported, often heard as quiet, childlike laughter. T plus 4 hours, visual hallucination reported, intense anxiety. T plus 7 hours, subjects remain conscious, though increasingly unresponsive to external stimuli. T plus 11 hours, brief period of lucidity, subject appears to recover and will demand immediate access to computer on which 1875 IMG 1AB was viewed. T plus 12 hours, self-mutilation observed. T plus 14 hours. Reminder: the first priority for responding to any 1875 IMG 1AB exposure scenario must be removing exposed victims from their workstations immediately. They must be isolated from all network computers.